And it's just the DNA of their offense. Even though they have struggled, it's like running into a wall at times. They continue to go back to that power play, the backside guard pulling around, the fullback leading through. There's just not a lot of room so far for Tyler Gaffney to work at other than that first drive.
Second down and 8. Play action again from Hogan. Has time. Fires deep, and there's a penalty. A penalty flag has been thrown. I believe Denard was the defensive back. Yes, the winner of the Jim Thorpe. Darquez Denard was with Devin Cajuste. Cajuste can surprise you. He had ACL surgery, but he has not lost his speed.
Holding. Defense, number 31. 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Cajuste 6'4", about 230 pounds, matched up against Denard. This is a great matchup, and watch him work to the outside to set up the move back to the middle, and there's no question about it. Denard was physical, but once he tries to pull away, Cajuste, see him setting it up, then he pulls away, but you couldn't see the left hand grabbed onto the jersey of Cajuste.
And we go to the Wildcat again for the third time in this game. Gaffney will keep it. Tries to squeeze in behind the tight end and the tackle there, and a pretty decent gain as he crosses the 30-yard line on this first down. So they show the Wildcat as a change of pace. They did it, folks, even when Andrew Luck was the quarterback. So for Coach David Shaw, that's just simply part of his offense. And don't you dare second guess him on it. Experience, folks, a great teacher. Second down now. Young flashes through, and Hogan able to fire it off that time.
Hewitt fell. I mean, they're trying to set up a tight end screen here, get the ball to Hewitt, trying to mess with the eyes of the defense by running Kelsey Young. Anytime you see 39 going in motion, you're thinking about a jet sweep. They're trying to freeze the linebackers and safeties and then just dump it to 85. He just slipped and lost his balance.
Third down and 7. Hogan keeps it, dives for that first down. Great effort by the quarterback that time. Williamson coming up, and you can see that side judge coming down, and that would give them a first and 10. Excellent running effort by Hogan.
Now, an interesting spot here. That's a read by the quarterback, Hogan. He's reading it. There's a lot of green jerseys in there. Well, he seemed to land right at the line, or maybe a bit short, but they give him the benefit of the doubt there and give him the first down.
Gaffney back in. From the 23. Gaffney behind Hewitt again. And he's close to that 20-yard line with Drummond hanging on.
They want to always try to outflank you. They try to get to the outside. They have not been able to do that tonight at all because of the way the safeties have come down in run support. Even a corner, you see Denard up in there. Drummond eventually the last man there, the last man standing to be able to hold him before he bounced it to the outside and would have picked up some big yards.
6 minutes remaining. Second down. Play action and sacked back at the 29-yard line by Denzel Drone. Drone got to him.
Pat Narduzzi will take chances. There's no doubt about it. Drone is over here. You also have a blitz coming from here. They're taking a chance and guessing that he may try to roll out. It's exactly what they do, and Drone, the senior, does a great job of bringing that pressure, anticipating that bootleg, which Stanford does a lot. And you see Pat Narduzzi has worked his way from the press box down to the sideline, as he often does for Michigan State's defense.
The throwing down for Kevin Hogan and Stanford. 3rd and 16, 5.5 to go. Quick pitch to the outside. And down across the 20-yard line is Barry Sanders, but he's short of that first down.
Right away, he sends out the field goal unit. 5.5 minutes to go here, and he's thinking about 3 points here, trying to get a stop and getting the football back.
This is the first time that Stanford has been in the red zone since the first quarter. It is 4th down and 5. Bobbled by the holder. He's going to try to throw it back across the middle, and it's caught at the 9-yard line with a penalty flag throwing on the play. So one of their jumbo linemen got out, but is he eligible?
Like an illegal man downfield.
I think Calhoun's shaking his head there, number 89, indicating that that was an illegal receiver downfield. When it was a broken play, they took off because they felt it was going to have to be a run by Ben Ryan, the holder.
Ineligible man downfield on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
Brent Trip Murphy is lined up as the left wing. He makes the catch. He's fine. He's fine to be able to make the catch. He's 93. It's that the rest of the guys in the middle of that the offensive line, they start to go downfield as well, trying to either pick up a block or run downfield. It wasn't Murphy. It was the others moving downfield. And he just lost control of it. Not a design fake. That's obvious.
So now after the penalty, it will make a 39-yard attempt. And this one curling in for Jordan Williamson. Stanford pulls to within 4. 5 minutes remaining. They need the ball back.
I did it. I did it.
The student has become the master.
Look what I did.
Control YouTube from your smartphone or tablet with the Vizio M Series Smart TV. It's beautifully simple.
You're saying I can get AT&T's network with a data plan and unlimited talk and text for as low as $45 a month?
$45 a month.
Wow. No annual contract?
No annual contract.
No long-term agreement?
No long-term agreement.
Really?
Really?
Okay, so what's the catch?
There is no catch.
Okay, I'm obviously getting nowhere with you. I'm gonna need to speak with a supervisor.
I am the supervisor.
Oh, finally, someone I can talk to.
It's not complicated. New smartphone plans starting at $45 a month with no annual contract. Only from AT&T.
So David Shaw was seeking an explanation. Walt Anderson, the head of the Big 12 officials, is up here in the booth with us. And Walt, as you watched that play, was that a good call, ineligible receiver downfield?
Right. The player who's lined up on the end of the line and the up back are both eligible receivers. But once the other linemen go more than 3 yards downfield, then that would be an ineligible downfield.
Yeah. And Brent Lucama Tule got downfield 99. Well, he's 5, 6, 7 yards downfield. So it's the right call. David Shaw and his staff want the explanation.
And so we heard from Walt, who's the head of officials, and this is a Big 12 crew. And I just want to say, they have done a fine job, and they're still back over there to feed the referee, talking about it with David Shaw. So Stanford will be kicking off with 5:05 to go, and they trail 24-20. Shelton and Ellsworth are back deep, and now DeFee is over there with Coach D'Antonio.
On the prior possession, the game clock stopped in error. The game clock should read 4:15. 4:15 on the game clock. The game clock stopped in error. Please set the clock to 4:15.
Which they have already done because they knew what DeFee was going to tell the crowd here. It's always great to keep a crowd like this informed of what's happening. It was 5:05 when it stopped, and now they've readjusted to 4:15. So Shelton is back deep. Hogan hopes that Skov and the defense can get the ball back. The Spartans hope they can kill the clock for Coach D'Antonio. And the Spartans will start from the 25.
You go back to the field goal just to have closure here. Garnett, 98, is the guy that you want to keep an eye on, Joshua Garnett. He actually efforts here, Brent. You'll see as the play goes on, there's a fire call. They start to take off. Look at him right here, what he does, right up here. He's thinking about the same thing that we're all thinking about. He hesitated, he tried to wait, but eventually he got too far down the field, and that's why the call was made.
Pendleton is back after being nicked up a little bit as the fullback, and he has been a key player in this game for Michigan State. Langford and Cook. Langford behind the right side of the offensive line.
It's an interesting time for Jim Bowman and Dave Warner and Mark D'Antonio. 4-point lead. Stanford wants the ball back. You got to work the clock on one hand. You also have a quarterback that's had a career night. Receivers that are playing very well. Do you wait to third down to try to run the ball, or do you try to maybe take a chance throwing the football here on second down?
Cook is in the gun. Langford is hit in the backfield by Skov. Skov read it perfectly. Jumped across the line of scrimmage, threw him for a loss, and here comes a big third down.
Yeah, once again, times it up. He and Tarpley coming right up the middle. Because of how quickly he closes in, the offensive line cannot pick him up. That's the way it's designed by Derek Mason. You bring both the linebackers, they pick up one, the other comes free. And like I said, do you wait do you run on second and wait to throw it on third down? Now you're in a tough position here on 3rd down and 10.
It's time for our Discover Game Changer, brought to you by Discover Card. And watch Connor Cook. This is the play that puts the Spartans ahead. Lippett reaches in for the touchdown. And now, Herbie, the Spartans trying to hang on.
Sure are. You forced Stanford to use another timeout. They're down to 1 timeout now. 3.5 minutes to go. And where Dave Warner and Jim Bowman and Mark D'Antonio are talking now is, do you run the ball again, work some more clock? That's still a lot of time to leave on the clock. Or do you give your quarterback a chance to try to make a play and risk an incompletion?
Cook is going to put it up. Broken up. And it's 4th down. The Cardinal will get the ball back at 3:19. The nickel man over there, Umanum Uswa, does a great job. Uswa Umanum.
Umanum makes the play here, Brent, late in the flat. Late in the flat on a 3rd down call late in the game. Michigan State fortunate that Umanum did not step right in front of that. He had a crucial interception in last year's Rose Bowl that made him the defensive MVP. He almost had another one there.
Barry Sanders back deep again for the Cardinal. Sadler is the punter. Line drive. Barry's going to let it roll. Doesn't want to risk it blowing up, and they will start from the 25-yard line. So here comes Kevin Hogan after that 51-yard punt. He has 3:06 to work with.
Well, this is what every quarterback dreams of that grows up in the Big Ten or Pac-12 region. Down 4, game on the line, 1 timeout. Touchdown wins the game and wins the 100th Rose Bowl. Kevin Hogan gets a chance to live that dream, and it's a great point that our crew brings up. He'll have to try to do it without Ty Montgomery, who is out with an apparent injury to one of his legs. So it's going to be up to Cody Whitfield, Kelsey Young, Michael Rector, Devin Kajus are going to have to step up in his absence.
Anthony Wilkerson, the blocker, comes in. Hogan keeps it to start this series, and he's up to the 29-yard line as the clock continues to run.
The third time we've seen him run that form of the zone read where they have a back go kind of parallel to the line of scrimmage. He's reading the defensive end, the play side defensive end. If he takes the back, he pulls it. If he stays on him, he'll give it. Time he went with the back, Wilkerson, and he pulled it out.
Ricky Seal into the backfield. Cody Whitfield, and they slip it out to Seal now. And he's across the 30-yard line, and that's the first time he's touched the ball, with Hoover making the stop. And now coming back is Tyler Gaffney. He will replace Seal, who was in for one play. And it is number 9, Cody Whitfield, who has picked up the reps from Ty Montgomery. Bob Whitfield's son has one touchdown catch this season, and it was spectacular.
Expect pressure for Michigan State's linebackers and safeties here.
And they will continue to try to run the ball, and Gaffney is eaten up on this play. What'd you think of that call, Herbie? Danico's Allen again, and timeout. That's the last timeout for Stanford.
And how about Kyler Ellsworth getting in there, the senior former walk-on who's in there for Max Bulla. He's been playing a lot of football tonight trying to defend this run. 41 right in the middle of this, gets off of a block and runs right into the middle of the trenches and hits Tyler Gaffney and pushes him back. You see a lot of green jerseys, but I'm with you. Interesting call there on 3rd down and short.
Well, a reminder coming up after the game, stay tuned for the Ford BCS postgame show. So it has come down to this 4th down. 1:48 on the clock. And Stanford, for the game, has 305 yards to Michigan State's 403. It has been tough going. And now the Cardinal needs a yard to stay alive in the 100th edition of the Rose Bowl game.
Good against good. The big offensive line and Tyler Gaffney in that jumbo set against that Michigan State defense. It's as good as there is in America defending the run. Mark D'Antonio, Brent, will call a timeout.
Took a look at the set. Now remember, without Max Bulla out there as his middle linebacker, it is much easier if the coaching staff communicates directly with his defense rather than flashing signals. You saw the defensive coordinator down on the field, and it's much easier to tell them what to do. The one thing that you miss with a Max Bulla is being a quarterback out there on the field defensively. They don't have it. So keeping a couple of timeouts, D'Antonio and Narduzzi use one right now, and you can see the defensive coordinator in the middle of that huddle, and D'Antonio is listening to every word. He played defensive back at South Carolina. He was a defensive coordinator at Ohio State for Jim Tressel when they won a national championship. Man knows defense. 4th down and 1 now for the Cardinal. Fullback right straight ahead, and the Spartans say didn't get it. Michigan State will take over on the 34-yard line. Kyler Ellsworth, one of the Mike linebackers who replaced Bulla here today. He's in on this play. How about that for the youngster who came to Michigan State as a walk-on originally? In the biggest game of his career, he did not go with the team to the off-the-field functions except the ones that they were required to. He studied film all week long, and now he comes up with a huge play.
Interesting that they go with the lead back, the fullback Hewitt, instead of going with the big tailback. The lead blockers leading the way for Gaffney, but instead they try to sneak in a quick dive play to Ryan Hewitt. Did not catch Michigan State off guard. Ellsworth elevates, and how fitting that Harris is involved there as well to make that play, and they will review it just to confirm the spot.
That's about as much emotion as I have ever, and I mean ever, seen D'Antonio show. So they will review the spot on this play, as they should with a play this important. It'll go upstairs now, and they'll take a look at it as Hewitt. And it looks to me like he was stopped before he could even get close to it.
At that point, the play is dead. Then he just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. But that initial surge, he is stoned short of the first down. Look at how fitting is that? Harris and Ellsworth.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands.
A green eruption at the Rose Bowl.
Defense had a big stop earlier in this game on a 4th down. They had a big one in Indianapolis, and they end up securing a victory here in the 100th Rose Bowl with another big stop on 4th down.
And this will stop the Big Ten bleeding in this game. They had lost 3 in a row. The greatest formation of Connor Cook's life. And the headset comes off. The young man who took over following the only Michigan State loss of the season, and that was at South Bend against Notre Dame. He was taken out in the 4th quarter, but during the week off after the loss, the coaches said, we've got to make a decision. And they said, let's go with the youngster. Let's go with Connor Cook. And here he is, leading Michigan State to a Rose Bowl championship. A minute left to go. I know it's cold in East Lansing, but this has got to make all of you feel just a little bit warmer.
No doubt about it. Mark D'Antonio has taken his program to such a tremendous level, doing things. And how about it? There's the quarterback, Connor Cook. Good for him. 22 at 36, 332 yards with a couple touchdowns.
Andrew Maxwell, who gave ground to Connor Cook. He'll take this 3rd down snap. There's a fine young man. And D'Antonio will come out to shake hands with Coach Shaw. And somewhere, Big Ten Commissioner Jim Delaney is celebrating this victory. Nebraska beats Georgia today. And now Michigan State holds off a favored Stanford team. Next up will be Ohio State in the Orange Bowl when they take on Clemson. There's nothing like the Rose Bowl game, and of course it will undergo a huge change after this matchup between the Big Ten and the Pac-12. Next year it'll be one of the semifinal games. But for the time being and this moment, it's old school Rose Bowl, the 100th edition of the Rose Bowl game, and Michigan State wins it. Let's go down to Tom Rinaldi and Coach D'Antonio.
Brent, thank you very much. Why don't you put that cap on?
There we go.
You came here in the spring on an alumni function. You took a detour. You stood on this field in May, and your daughters recorded a video of you envisioning this moment. How does it live up to it in reality?
You know, I just knew we were going to have a special football team this year. There's no question in my mind, and got great leadership from our guys, all of our seniors, great leadership. Our guys came to play, just fought back tonight, and some type of way, we got it done.
How fitting is it that it comes down to a 4th down and 1 with this defense?
Yeah, real fitting. You know, our defense played outstanding. Great call by Narduzzi, something we had not shown. We were firm in the middle and got it done. You know, great job by Stanford, you know, but we're 13-1 football team. We're in the Rose Bowl. It can't get much better than that.
We talk so much about Max Fuller's absence. Tyler Ellsworth is a guy who flies through and makes that play. What did that mean to you about next man up?
Well, we got guys. We got guys on our football team that play a lot of football. You know, we're deep. We're deep on our football team, and we're going to get deeper with some of the recruits that are coming our way. But, you know, it's an exciting time. You know, Kyler, great game. Darian Harris filled in, but, you know, big plays around the board. You know, it's hard for me to say who played out well, but just big plays.
The 26 years it took this program to get back here. I could see it in your face, and I know what this school means to you and these players. How do you sum up the moment?
I'll tell you how you sum up the moment. You're going to be able to come back here and see Michigan State up there winning on that plaque outside this Rose Bowl 50 years from now with your grandchildren. That's what you're going to be able to do.
Congratulations. Well done for Spartan Nation.
Thank you very much. Our guys showed out tonight. Spartan Nation is here and alive. Go Green. Love everybody home.
Congratulations. Brent.
Thank you very much, Tom. Now, Tom asked you about this video. Take a look and take a listen. Last May.
Hey guys, welcome to the Rose Bowl. Had an opportunity to come out here in late May and just walk on the field a little bit. And this is where we make it happen. So January 1st this year, or 2014 as we get into it, it'll be our time. It will be our time.
His daughter took that video on her cell phone. Mark D'Antonio. Wow. What a win for the Michigan State Spartans and Coach D'Antonio. And when you get him back home, folks, lock the door. Don't let him even think about it anyplace else. Let's go back, Herbie, to that play that D'Antonio talked about.
He just told Tom Rinaldi that they saved this blitz where they brought both these linebackers. You see them both elevate, go up and over. Still very surprised that Hewitt, the lead back, gets the football instead of leading the way for Gaffney, but they gave him the ball and Michigan State would not be denied. It just, the game was so symbolic of the year that Michigan State had. They were down 10 in the first quarter, uncharted waters, and instead of giving in, they fought back. Just like when they gave up 24 unanswered to Ohio State and Indianapolis, they fought back. It's just who they are. It's the team that they've become, and they have so much to be proud of.
The sideline erupting after that play. Now, where is that traditional bath? Antonio's quick. That's the only thing they missed all day, folks. They didn't get close to Mark D'Antonio. How about that?
They got to get him for that. When Connor Cook there hugging his coach. What a game for Connor Cook.
So let's go down now to the presentation stand and